45 men and women pursue an extraordinary dream. 22 countries, 19 months, a voyage around the world. Tall Ship Chronicles.
This ocean is a desert. Water everywhere, but none of it to drink. On the Picton Castle, the machine that turns salt water into fresh water is broken. That means the 2,000 gallons we have in storage tanks will have to last at least 2 weeks. But that's just the tip of the Picton Castle's liquid iceberg. You see, the rust that usually settles to the bottom of our freshwater tanks is getting a little churned up. Actually, it's getting a lot churned up. We filter it clear for drinking, but it's leaving a pretty parched feeling in the back of some throats. 6 months into the journey, and for the first time, we're getting tense as a group. Silent. Broody. In the northern Cook Islands, we're approaching the so-called third world, but we don't feel like tourists anymore. We feel like third world residents.
See you later, boys.
We have hygiene problems. We have infections. We have bad water. And now, we're destined for an unbelievably remote island that has no hotel, no restaurant, and no idea we're even coming. Pukapuka. Before we get to Pukapuka, I need to shave. It's something I haven't done since I found out about the water problem.
I saw the sign on the shower that said we weren't allowed to use the shower. That's how I found out about it. And then you turn the tap on and you go, whoa, that's foul.
Whenever our water maker breaks down, all eyes turn to Mickle. Sweating bullets down in the engine room, our Great Dane can fix anything. This time, he can't. When it comes to water, we got what we got, and that's all we're getting.
Well, we got 2 water tanks, and one is all the way full, and the other one is half full. And under normal conditions, that would last us maybe 10 days. But I think if we just try to be reasonable with water consumption, then it should last at least 3 or 4 weeks easily. So it's not a big problem, but the problem is coming.
The only really frustrating part about it is that nobody knows what's going on because the captain refuses to address the issue. That's frustrating. Is it going to be fixed? How can it be fixed? When can it be fixed? This happened once before. Derek asked about it at muster and was shot down in a manner that nobody's going to ask about it now. Nobody. No way.
You don't have to ask whether or not that filter's been ridden hard and put away wet. The rust that's clogging it right now is rust that Hillary knew was coming. Before we left Lunenburg, our water tanks were in the exact same condition they're in now. Then they were drained, and then Hillary went in and gave them a good old-fashioned cleaning.
There was a layer of sediment on the bottom that we were trying to get out. So we were scooping it into buckets and then hosing it down and then scooping it out and sponging it and doing that over and over again until it was clean and trying to get the rust off.
Of course, there's a lot of rumors regarding the history of the freshwater problem. Like this one I heard about...
Nobby, the old engineer, on the last world voyage was, like begging the captain to sandblast the holding tank and relaminating it so that this problem would be arrested. But in years, they said, in 2 years, there hasn't been enough time to do it.
Hey, it's hot. Well, hot. It's fresh, too. Wow. Hey, it is. It's fresh. It came out of the 1,000-gallon hot water heater we have? Yeah.
They're lying. We never have hot water. Ever. That is cold salt water. Woo! We call it a power shower. This ain't no cruise ship, which is great because no cruise ships go where we're going.
I've never been to Pukapuka. I don't really know what the arrangement is.
I love that we're going to Pukapuka. Pukapuka. Pukapuka? Some people don't think it's funny, though. They'd rather go straight to Samoa so they can buy bottled spring water and take real showers.
This isn't a hotel, it's not a motel, it's not a prearranged package tour. If they invite us ashore, we go. If they don't, well, we go to Samoa. I think they will. but we'll find out.
Everywhere we've been, people have been drawn to us, amazed by our voyage, awestruck by our ship. At this stage, we've even come to expect admiration. No one in Pukapuka knows we're coming. Still, we're pretty sure they'll whip up an impromptu welcoming party for us. They don't. We dropped anchor a whole hour ago, and still no one has come out to tell us how cool we are for sailing around the world in a tall ship. We're in sight of land, but we're lost.
Pukapuka Harbor Master. Pukapuka Harbor Master. This is the bark, Picton Castle, the sailing vessel, bark, Picton Castle. Call sign Zulu, Kilo, Whiskey Papa, channel 16. Something tells me we might not get huge results from the radio.
No, they aren't really rushing out to fighting with each other to greet us, are they? Well, we'll sit out here for a little while, and if nothing happens, we'll launch a boat. You see beyond the head of the island there? Yeah. There's something tall. Looks like
it's not palm trees.
You think it's palm trees?
Oh, yeah.
They might be having a little powwow. Because they got an ariki here. They got chiefs and stuff. Probably got 3 of them, paramount chiefs. We'll find out. Or not.
Our first visitor is a thing of curiosity. This brown-footed booby has a red ribbon tied to its gray leg.
Get some scissors and cut it off.
Part of me wonders if we're supposed to tie some sort of message to the bird and then let it fly back.
Maria's booby friend.
It's not even 8 o'clock.
And part of me thinks Pukapuka is sending us a message.
Nobody's done. You gotta go.
We knew that was coming, didn't we?
Well, here, these guys are gonna come, I think. They're on their way. I don't know, I think they had more pressing issues like catching days worth of fish.
At last!
Hello?
Either that's our welcoming committee,
Hello.
or they've come to get their bird back.
Howdy. Dan Moreland.
Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Taira Bora.
Taya.
Representing the island of Pukapuka.
Very good. Dan Moreland, Kia ora, Captain of the Picton Castle.
Captain of the...
Yes, sir.
For us, it's 10 in the morning, but for these party animals, it's still last night.
Actually, yesterday,
Uh-huh.
election of the island council members for the whole island.
Oh, great.
And unfortunately, well, I was just celebrating.
Gotta celebrate. It's important to
You
celebrate.
gotta like a town where the mayor makes his first impression through Mr. Celebration here.
As the mayor was saying, just go out there and see what they want.
Okay, now it's our crew, there's 40 of us. We just spent,
It's supposed to be...
and we can put half, but anyway, how about coffee? Want some coffee? Let's get you some coffee. Milk, sugar?
Hey, don't forget, hey, Dan.
Yeah.
Don't forget that I'm still in the celebrating...
Oh, good. Well, give a little coffee, keep you going.
Oh, we want to go in.
What's happening over there? Right hand is a coffee.
Right hand is coffee.
Left hand is celebrating.
You're two-fisted? This is a sweet day at the office for you.
As our ashore party finally goes in to suss things out, the mayor's representative stays behind to make sure our rum passes through his customs.
Welcome to Pukapuka.
Thank you very much. How you doing?
On shore, Billy and Kate find the mayor and discover this incredible piece of information. The Picton Castle's crew of 40 is the largest group of tourists that Pukapuka has seen since 1974.
None of the people on board have ever been here before, so they'd like to see it would be okay. We come ashore and kind of explore and check things out. And
how long do you intend to hang around?
wouldn't be maybe 2 to 4 days, and be what we'd be looking at.
We'll get you back, don't worry.
Well,
Yes, you'll get back.
So if half the crew goes ashore, where are we going to stay?
it depends.
Unfortunately, we don't have any accommodation on the island. No motels, no hotels. Maybe the mayor can help out. You guys gonna get shipped around.
You already if we put you into individual household, family.
I mean, that's sure, that's fine.
2 or 3 people in one.
Sure.
On board, we're packing food bags to give away as rent.
We need one more dressing, apparently.
I love these moments. Arriving in strange places with no plan is bound to become a good story. The story this time is that the mayor has arranged for us to be picked up in a trailer, paraded through the streets, and dropped off at a barn in the middle of town, where prospective families will meet us and then hand over the keys to their houses.
I'm okay.
You're okay, yeah. So much.
What are you cooking? Rice and fish.
We're gonna go buy some beer.
When in Rome, Billy would go look for beer.
Okay.
It's the mayor.
Okay.
It's good.
Some things in tropical islands can just be taken for granted. People will put you up and feed you, and Billy will buy beer to give away.
Okay, only if you come by and have some with us.
Thank you very much.
Can't do that?
Nah.
I love this. Sloan is helping with the beer instead of visiting the school.
So this is Cook Islands memory then?
That's our.
This is yours?
That's our. Yeah.
Okay. So they learn to read and write and speak in all 3 of those.
Sloan has missed an entire school year. In 3 weeks, he'll be home again, just in time for summer vacation. For 3 months, he'll still be the cursing, tattooed sailor we know and love. But come September, he'll be a 13-year-old boy, entering grade 8. How difficult will that be?
Well, how are you going to go back to being a 13-year-old in Cape Cod?
I don't know.
You'll work it out, won't you?
Yeah, I'll figure it out somehow.
Hold like this.
As Jim lays aloft to give a tour of the rigging, crew on deck are also saying goodbye to the families that welcomed our surprise attack.
There was a lot of, trepidation. I mean, even on my part, I'd going ashore. I didn't know anyone here. The crew doesn't know anybody, and we don't really have even we don't have an invitation or even permission to be there. But we're just going to sort out. So it was interesting, I think, for all of us, including me, to, sort of face those questions. Worked out great.
It did. But we leave Pukapuka with strep throat and lice nits
It's just very persistent. Yeah. It's not like you scratch it and it goes away.
and extra infection. Mix all that up with our rusty water, and it tends to make you opinionated.
You know, the captain led the muster yesterday by saying, desperate times call for desperate measures, right? And then he, does something that's akin to putting a poster over a giant hole in the wall.
There's a little strep throat running around the ship. And to ensure, or do our best to not spread it, these cups have all been washed and boiled. You will each take a cup. You will each put upon it your own significant marker, starting with your name. You can decorate it any way you want. A souvenir cup. But this will be your cup. The idea is to not wash them collectively.
You know, it's cute and all to think that giving everybody their own personalized mug is going to somehow solve some germ or illness or filth problem on board, but I mean, it's pretty ridiculous and laughable. Nobody can shower, nobody can do laundry. It's simple what needs to be done. We got to fix the water situation sooner rather than later. You know, the rumor is Fiji that we might do it. Might? We got to do it in Samoa, and please God we will, I hope so.
There's 2 kinds of people on this trip. Round-the-world people and new people.
I mean, I saw 3 people come in and actually not even bother washing their cup and just hang it up. And then they say, oh, well, I'll wash it, and they do this. 2 seconds here, no scrub. 2 seconds here, and they hang it up.
Well, yeah.
When I said earlier that we were like residents of the third world, I meant us round-the-worlders. Kelly's still a tourist.
It tells you who actually cleans those forks and knives and who just does the...
Yeah,
when they're in here.
But I think the correlation between the poor sanitation and the poor water quality, obviously plays a factor.
I think there's also the whole, Let's talk about poor diet.
I got every disease there is on this ship. Doesn't get any better than this. Just ketchup.
I think there's a lot of factors included here. And I think it's sort of silly that we're focusing on one, but you have to start somewhere. So, you know, it's one step.
I can see the vitamins keeping your immune system high. I can see that. That makes sense. But
I think the vitamins are kind of silly because if you haven't been taking them all along, I don't know. I don't know if it's a factor of time because all these things that you're saying, things that I have said before and that I've been frustrated about before, and like throwing my hands up in the air, ripped my hair out, and now I'm just sort of apathetic about it all. I'm just sort of like, well, just sort of how it is.
When you think Samoa, you think paradise. When we think Samoa, we think hospital, clinic, vet, anything. An official order comes down. If you're one of the people on board who has an infection, you get your ass to a doctor. When we arrive in Samoa, the mood on board is worse than it's ever been. We find ourselves looking to escape. Then we find an Australian traveler singing the praises of a local guy who he says can take us away from all this stress.
Because this guy crisscrosses Samoa on foot. He's famous in Samoa as the guy that sleeps under the stars and goes everywhere because he doesn't like to be under a roof.
It's right under the stars.
The guy who sleeps under the stars rented us this bus. At our first stop, I still hadn't actually heard about Eddie's commune with nature.
Last week I have to cut through, I didn't have to go on the road, I have to cut through the beaches to get from one village to another village.
Right.
That's my lifestyle.
What do you mean that's your lifestyle? You're mostly hanging around outdoors? You hang out?
He sleeps under the stars.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know.
Yeah, I do believe
I've met homeless people before, and they've never organized me a bus tour. Back on the dock, the captain wants to scrub and refill our rusty water tanks. Billy has a more ambitious idea.
The plan is, we've got rusty water tanks, correct?
Correct.
So, we can either Band-Aid the problem, or we can fix the problem, correct?
Correct.
He's gonna fix this problem, come hell or high prices.
Who has to move all the stuff until he gets to the water tank?
People on watch.
Not our watch.
Huh?
Not our watch.
Why not? Oh, it's a problem, but we're gonna let someone else deal with it. Let me guess. Oh no, that's not common.
We're doing that tomorrow.
Let me see, wait a minute. Does this sound like something I've heard before? Oh, I've got a problem with the fresh water. This really sucks, but oh, when it comes time to do something positive about it, it's not gonna be my watch. Is that what we're hearing?
No, I'm
just wanted to clear that up.
Is that something you can handle? It's like blast and coat and tank?
This is the inside of our drinking water tank. It needs sandblasting and a fresh coat of some special epoxy something or other that you can't even buy in Samoa. Billy's getting advice from a local who does this sort of work.
And they said that they're too busy and they don't have any sand.
Well, right now we're working on a job down at the airport and everybody's tied up here. But if shipping can do it, we can gladly sell you some sand, school sand. But it definitely has to be done.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, it has to be done. But it sounds like it can't be done. So, what are we gonna do?
It's always a longer process to get something done in the tropics than you want. And, well, let's scrub them out anyway. Fill them up and have water.
So you gotta wipe all that shit down, but whenever I wipe that stuff down, it's just spreading around, so it needs like high pressure or something.
High pressure?
Something.
What, you're gonna really push hard?
No, man, you need to pressure usage.
I know. Okay, so we're gonna.
So what kind of fuck?
So we're. All right.
We're just gonna sweep the dry stuff up.
It's a mess, and we're scraping crap down onto the floor or the bottom of the tanks.
I don't think we've tried it yet. I don't know what.
And who knows?
Bringing it back to
Who knows what we're gonna do?
Yeah.
It's sort of a.
But yeah, you can look at it. You can almost see.
If we're gonna get sandblasted, then it's sort of fruitless. But if we're not getting sandblasted, then it makes sense. But nobody can agree on what we're supposed to be doing. So.
We can agree on this. Doing manual labor in a confined space in 40-degree heat is even more exhausting when you don't believe in the job you're doing.
Well, I mean, it's taking down rust, but if we're not going to paint it, then
There's
it's
no
sort of
point, or just wasting our lungs away.
Morale is down a bit since I got back.
Mac has been away for a month. This is a different ship than the one he left.
Things are breaking down. Hygiene and health are not as good. Attitudes are not as good.
What are you doing to me? I got beer and everything. How's it going, buddy? What do you have, man?
Mac has just come back from his vacation. This will be his first time standing watch in a month. Today, our watch has to move the ship, grease about a mile of wire, and continue scrubbing down the water tanks. His thoughts?
I found some really, really sweet surf.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Mac is planning on taking me surfing this afternoon. He's forgotten how inflexible watch is.
Yesterday.
So where's the other two boys surfing?
One guy is gonna stay. He's not gonna go. I'm not supposed to go, but I'm gonna try and find a replacement for me on watch. While you're away, I'll look for somebody. And if not, I'll just ask the captain. It's only like 3 hours. We got at 4 o'clock, and then it gets dark around 6. So that's 2 hours away. So I don't think they need everybody. We'll see. I'll try.
Come in.
While Mac is trying to find a replacement, Hillary is trying to find a guy to scar her body with a boar's tooth.
So how long have you been tattooing for?
That's right, a boar's tooth tattoo.
I thought it was this guy that was doing it.
The Samoans are the only people in the world who will take the tooth of a pig, then sharpen it down, then tattoo you with it. Our homeless friend convinced Hillary that he knew a really good boar's tooth tattooist.
Does anyone here have a tattoo that he's done?
Yeah, this guy there.
This one here?
Yeah.
There's some scars on your arm. Is that from...
Very big mistake on that one. The needle went in too far.
He made a mistake. Okay.
Doing it for a living.
The man who sleeps under the stars is a cell phone carrying, front door locking hustler. He'll get no commission today, though.
So he's not a professional. He's just kind of like a hobby?
Well, everybody starts from somewhere.
Yeah, everyone starts from somewhere, but I'm not really interested in being someone's, beginning of the career.
He just kept saying, yeah.
Get a load of Tom. He has become a tattoo addict. It started in Tahiti.
That's exactly what I wanted to get. They say guys don't know about commitment. They do.
Then he got this monster in Tonga. Now he wants a boar's tooth. This morning, he went to a normal electric needle studio and got duped.
Told him I wanted a boar's tooth. And he said, oh, no problem. And, then he just started needling it in. And by that time, it was too late for me to do anything about it because what the hell? I'm not going to walk around with a line in my arm for the rest of my life. So, it just kind of lured me in, and for apparently more money than I should have spent in the first place.
Our captain sports an authentic boar's tooth tattoo. That is why we're fascinated by them.
Icons and motifs of the sea, mountains, and ocean, and wind and waves.
For any of us to get one would be like saying to the captain that we have gone whole hog on this experience.
Oh, yeah.
How swollen that
Oh,
is.
yeah. And people stretching your skin apart, too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's like two guys, like, gloves on, and
oh, yeah?
stretching you out, and the other guy, all sorts of pillows all around, just like, whack, whack.
Sven was the first to find one of the traditional artists, and he found him by using the traditional method.
How'd you find the guy?
I went to the Visitors Bureau, got his name.
Oh, yeah?
It's a real McCoy, man.
Really?
Ouch.
Mac couldn't get a replacement. Worse, he won't get with the program.
3 hours spending some time getting some activities like exercise on a beautiful afternoon in Samoa. I shouldn't have to feel worried about doing that. I mean, after all, I'm not really an employee here, I do what you can. I mean, it's the old story. I paid a lot of money to be here. Why am I mean, the work's fine, but why is my freedom slowly, ever so slowly being taken?
The truth is, Mac loves this. He knows he can't go surfing today, but pushing it is entertaining. So he pushes it to the limit.
Well, then you just go surfing tomorrow. It's called delayed gratification. You can stand it. I know you. It's a struggle to, not eat the icing first, but it's you're either crew or you're not crew. If you're not crew, let me know. We can have accommodations for non-crew.
Really?
Yeah.
Over there?
No, we can discuss that. If you want to do the not crew thing.
But it's way too boring.
Yeah. All right. Well, then we'll foster the delusion that you're crew, and then it means that you're sort of partly dedicated to what we're doing.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, my boy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There is one way Mac could get off watch. If you have an appointment to get a boar's tooth tattoo, you're free to go. When Phil went to get his boar's tooth tattoo, Sven gave him some advice. Enjoy the pain.
Like after the first line, I was like, wanted to go away, wanted to leave.
When you move, my hand moved.
Didn't really know what I was getting myself into. It's not something that you can get anywhere.
The ship is like a boar's tooth tattoo convention right now. 7 people have been bitten by the pig, and truth be told, I even booked a visit to Sulawapé there myself. But then the drugs wore off, and I canceled. Good thing, too. I don't enjoy the pain.
Get up. It was a worthwhile experience. You learn how much you can tolerate as far as pain. It's a unique sort of tattoo. I don't know, I wouldn't go through it again.
Tom went through 3 hours of pain to get this, the ship's biggest boar's tooth tattoo. Billy is fixing our water tanks. He bought the bags of blasting sand from Mobil. He rented a compressor from Samoan shipping. He flew Jim all the way to American Samoa to buy the proper paint. He hired locals to run the machinery.
You see on the other side of the ship, the red tide?
Basically, I spent my whole time here chasing the bits and pieces to get this job done here. You can't ignore the situation where you don't have good water. So, I said it's doable here, let's just do it. So that's what we decided to do.
As we raise topsails and head off, the tank's new coat of paint is leaching into our water. It tastes and smells like a headache. We'll make it to Fiji in 4 days. To keep myself sane, I make Lauren laugh by cracking jokes about getting so dehydrated I fear I'm becoming a raisin.
One of the reasons why I felt really comfortable getting involved with him is because I kind of figured that if I was going to be with someone for a year and a half, it's really important that he can make me laugh.
What are you doing, Lauren? Leave her be.
Help me.
She's handling herself very well.
Don't tell him that I beat you.
When you put 40 people together in 180 feet of space for such a long time, certain things are inevitable, since I've been, on this trip, I've gotten 2 wedding invitations from couples who met on the last trip who are getting married. One of them's already married, I think the other one's happening this month, and so I guess it does work sometimes.
Back in Lunenburg, we were asked if we were looking for love.
Not something specifically I'm looking for, because I've been looking for it for a while and it's a pain in the ass to look for. So, best case scenario, my life would turn out perfect, wouldn't it?
I don't know how my life will turn out after we reach South Africa. Lauren's thinking about getting off there. Tonga has the most protected harbor in the entire South Pacific. Small islands dot the water, and instead of white sand, they have a more familiar slate gray face.
It's a lot like going up in Vancouver, if you go up in between Vancouver and Vancouver Island, that sound, whatever that's called.
From here, Kelly goes home to her brand spanking new prefab house in Waterloo, Ontario.
I'm going to be really anxious to see out of the however many on board, how many stick it out to the end.
Boyle, come on, get to say goodbye to Kelly! Kelly's leaving!
Mac is also leaving because of the captain.
He said it was a bad person on the ship. Bad shipmate. Well, sure, a few people will agree.
See ya.
Have a nice trip back. Thanks for being my bunkmate.
Whoa! Revelations!
Yeah, exactly.
Besides, I was getting kicked off anyway. So the captain says.
I'll tell you one thing about people who leave the ship. They're a little less reserved than the rest of us when they're speaking to the captain.
You're the devil's son.
Oh, good. I'm the son of Satan's own very spawn. Spawn of Satan. Come on, say it. Spawn of Satan. Spawn of Satan. Come on. Oh, please. Come on. Oh, I'm not the spawn of Satan. I'm Satan himself.
10 minutes ago, Lauren and I were alone having a civilized dinner. Then we got ambushed by uninvited guests. Now, we feel like divorce counselors.
To have you on because you just...
I like this guy.
Well, exactly.
Spices it up.
And
I like him.
that's
I'm sorry
why
he's going.
it was good to have you around. You know?
I want to throw him off, but I'm sorry he's going. How's that, Mac? I want to throw you off, but I'm sorry you're going.
You're messed up, man.
I'm messed up. I'm messed up. I'm messed up.
Oh yeah, like this is a news bulletin.
I'm messed up. Newsflash. I'm messed up.
The reason why I'm leaving is because I've given up already.
That's why you're leaving. You're leaving because you're giving up. You know what?
And I can curse you and what you do.
I encourage you to curse me.
Okay.
You should curse me.
I curse you.
I'm here to be cursed. Curse
See, Mac, thing is, it's a very personal adventure. And if yours has come to an end,
it's
then
over.
it has.
So be it.
But
Good
the
time
adventure
having
for
you
me
here.
is
See ya.
But Max,
now
so be
gonna
it. So be
start.
it. There's no hard feelings there.
No.
Other than that, we curse you for Satan.
No, other than that, we're just gonna miss you.
Just before Mac left, he said to me, Andrew, it's not the captain's ship, it's not leadership, it's your ship. The guy is a poet.
It's okay.
Okay.
The captain is an enigma. We've been sailing and living with this man for 7 months now, and I gotta tell you, he's more of a mystery to me these days than he was back in Lunenburg. How much do any of us know about him? I mean, really know.
He's a hard man to know.
He claims that he was a woman in his former life.
He talks only in riddles. I think there's a goofball under there.
That bestiality charge should have never made it to court. I mean, what happens in the barnyard is really between a man and his goats, really.
When he was in high school, he ran for the presidency of the student council, which he won, and his first true act as president was to completely disband the student council.
The only thing I know is that he convinced me to ditch university to come here.
I know that he thinks he'd be a good father.
We both lost our mother just before, like me before this trip and him before the first voyage. His mother died, and I remember a connection there.
I think he'd like to be a father someday, but I'm not sure if he thinks that would happen.
Celebration. And separation.
I'm feeling risky, so I'm impersonating the captain at our 2/5 of the way around the world comedy blockbuster.
Fiji.
I wonder if this act will endear me to him or just make him think I'm an idiot. Billy thinks we're all rude for laughing at each other. The guy who played Aphrodite at our equator crossing refused to come to the show today, saying skits are hurtful. Who knew he was so tender? We really wanted him in the crowd, too, not just so he could see the hurtful skits that were done about him,
God damn it, kids!
but so that we could have another hour of hearing his hurtful asides. See, in Fiji, Billy leaves.
My leave of absence where I work runs out, so I'll be going back to work on a tanker.
Those of us who get along with the most charismatic guy on board will miss him a lot. Billy is the Picton Castle's original workaholic sea cowboy. a butt crack showing, toilet fixing, flame throwing, woodworking, celestial navigating, sail sewing, monomoy steering, monomoy braking, chart marking, loud haggling, laundry stomping, hammer swinging, beer drinking, non-hair cutting man's man who knows a joke about absolutely everything.
See, it's like cockeyed.
I know a joke about that.
I'm sure you do.
As a super self-confident style guy, he's equally as comfortable in the shortest skirt on board or a set of salt-soaked foulies. But what he loves to wear most is the title that comes with an unexpected new job. Like, for example, dentist. That's a file. He's filing her teeth.
Perfect.
Combining ambition and passion like that, though, does come with a downside. When Billy gets frustrated, things have a habit of being thrown overboard.
Lost a favorite pareo and a bucket full of clothes that were soaking.
I tell you, though, I wish he wasn't going. The guy has taught me a lot.
If it's blowing 100 miles an hour between me and you, there's no fetch, right?
Okay.
Blowing 100 miles an hour between Japan and Hawaii, that's a lot of fetch.
Gotcha.
He also makes my own manners seem impeccable. And I'm jealous of his unbelievable timing.
No matter how weird it gets, it's always going to get weirder. See, there's a guy running around naked.
Just another classic Billy moment.
Get a shot of that, Wade? How often does something like this come along? And, you know, not only when does it come along, but when do you have the time or are able to free up the time to do something like this?
Dennis will have some free time soon. There's two rumors. Dennis quit, Dennis was fired. Either way, Dennis is gone. On the last world voyage, the Picton Castle went through 13 cooks during the first 12 months. Then they got Dennis. He's been with the ship for more than 2 years now, and while I'm not too sad to see him go, I am worried that his leaving might be the beginning of a revolving galley door. We've made it to Fiji, which means Sloan and Billy have made it to the end of their voyage.
You ever get homesick?
Oh, never?
I do. Come on, you gotta say you got wicked homesick.
Yeah, come on, your mom's watching the show. You gotta say you got homesick. Just say it. Just come on. Look off misty-eyed off in the corner and say, yeah, I was homesick.
Yeah, I was homesick.
Okay, say it again.
I was homesick.
Good.
I didn't get too homesick.
Thanks a lot. Take care, man.
Thanks for the help.
Yeah, thanks for everything.
It was fun to have you.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you.
Annie, good luck.
All right.
See
You want to...
Have fun, man.
Yeah, you write to me too. Email counts.
Hang around all afternoon.
See you in Bermuda.
Thanks,
Good
bro.
Bermuda.
Yeah, soon enough, probably.
Stay out here, folks, for us.
See you later.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Say goodbye to everybody else that we didn't say goodbye to, you know?
Derek's saying bye. What?
Derek's saying bye.
Thank you.
See ya, man.
Oh my God.
On the day Sloan and Billy fly, so does gossip on the beach about the galley situation. Laurie's quitting. No, Laurie's getting fired. Laurie's staying. There's a new cook coming, maybe, perhaps, but no one knows for sure. Not even Laurie knows.
I've never been treated so poorly by an employer in my life, and so I'm questioning everything. You know, do I want to be here?
2 months ago, Laurie's co-worker threatened to slit her throat with a closed pocket knife. Back when it happened, the captain explained why he wasn't planning on doing anything, even though Dennis said,
I'm going to kill you or something like that. And I'm going to, oh, good God. I said, First of all, don't say things like that. It's so stupid to say something like that. But was it a genuine death threat? Oh, God, no.
Laurie hasn't spoken about what happened until now.
He just kind of made light of it. You know, how do you know it was a knife? Where did he get it from? How do you know it was a pocket knife? Was it open? Yada, yada, yada. And I just sort of cut that off, saying, no, the blade wasn't open and he didn't have it pressed to my jugular.
How many times has Hillary said she's going to kill Wendy if she steals her socks one more time? Is that a death threat? No, it's not really a death threat.
To Dennis, our South African head cook, a woman publicly disrespecting her male superior is far more shocking than violence.
Well, the captain leave and believes that, and then I'm like, there's one thing I want to make straight here, that I don't like her swearing at me, and she's like, and I told her that the words he told me, and then she repeated it. Yeah, I call him blah, 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 and then I freak out. Because she was repeating it with the same attitude she did in the skip. And that flipped me out, and I went for her.
Traditionally, in a fight at sea, both parties are considered wrong.
Was it inappropriate? Sure, it's ridiculous. But so was the things that led up to that by the other party in question.
My feelings about Laurie is not like personal, it's just the attitude towards work and things, and don't... As a senior, I expect that my assistant cooks or second or third cook should do what I tell them to do and not want to do their own thing.
Basically a lot of immature nonsense, and what do you do about it? Well, there's not a lot of things you can do about that.
Nothing mattered. It didn't matter how extreme things got. Yeah, it didn't matter to him. It would just be put aside, not dealt with.
And I came in here to look. I found this. I'm not quite sure what that was. I think that was some kind of meat at one point. Completely exposed, completely freezer burned.
Completely frustrated, Dennis didn't show up for his last day, so the captain has asked Derek to cook.
And I said, well, that's going to be difficult, seeing that there's not a lot of stores on board. Food, fresh vegetables, no dairy, no fruit, nothing. We had 9 or 10 tomatoes and 1 pepper. Yeah. And I said, you know, Cap, we don't have food. Of course there's food on board. Well, not really, we haven't. And he sort of just was blasé about it. It was like, oh, you got to spend it for yourself. And I thought that at the time I was furious. And then on my way out, when I had a chance to actually think about it, I was just mad.
Derek could boil old pasta and serve it with some warmed up ketchup and pickles. That's what Dennis has been serving recently.
It's like, I lost interest. For myself personally, I lost interest of like, I just cook just food, eat. I'm not gonna create. I'm not gonna be creative and do things like I used to do. Just like here's a pot of as long as you got food on your plate, because I'm planning on leaving the ship.
Well, I think Dennis depends a lot on his mood. He's in a bad mood, which he has been recently. He doesn't.
The fact is, he should have been gone months ago. He was not happy. We're not happy. Bye. Cut it. I know they went through 13,000 million chefs on the last world voyage. That's not my problem. My problem is we're not getting properly fed. We're not. The promise I was given is, yeah, I sign up, I'm going to do this deal, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to get 3 hots and a cot. You know, I don't get that. And so it makes the morale, it's killing the morale. We got people who are leaving, we got people who want to leave, people who are fed up, people who are bored, people who... And it all circumvents around little things that add up. The food, the lack of training, the bad leadership, the communication problems. But I'm fucking into this thing. I still am. I told the captain, I'm fucking pissed off right now, but I'm into this program. I'm into your idea.
We're a cult. There's a reason why 3-masted barks don't sail around the world anymore. The lifestyle sucks. But that doesn't matter if you're a cult member. When we started, 30 people thought they would sail around the world. 5 of us have already left, and if rumors are right, 5 more will terminate the experience here. It seems their answer has become no. See, to retain your membership in the cult of the Picton Castle, you must ask yourself the same question every day. Will I follow Captain Dan Moreland to the edge of the earth? My answer is yes.
Next time on Tall Ship Chronicles, the crew get a taste of their own cooking. Phil gets a decision on his future.
I don't know, like there had been a lot of rumors going around that I was staying.
The biggest test yet.
All the way to the back!
A deadly tropical storm. That's all next time on Tall Ship Chronicles.